Should you focus on search or discovery? Are your tags long enough? Do your thumbnails convert? Does the YouTube algorithm just hate you personally? If you're asking yourself any of these questions, you need to watch this video on the Reach tab right now. What's going on, marketers? My name's Video Joshua and I help you grow your business using video. If that's something you're interested in, subscribe to the channel so you know when I upload new content. There's always been this massive debate on whether you should focus on search or suggested video. Is SEO dead or should you make better thumbnails? And ultimately, your channel can be successful on either one of these traffic sources. I personally believe every channel should have a content strategy that focuses on both search and suggested video, but we have to figure out where your channel's at right now and how to improve both of them. That's what the Reach tab is all about. I'm gonna help you look at all of your traffic sources so you can figure out where your viewers are coming from and how to improve all of them so you can grow your business or your brand. Let's take a look at the Analytics tab. As we go through all of these tabs, you're gonna see an overview graph on the top of all of them, and it's gonna give the key metrics that you should really, if nothing else, keep a pulse on. For the Reach tab, it's all about impressions, how many viewers actually saw your title and thumbnail, your impression click-through rate, how many people actually clicked on it, which leads to views. They also note unique viewers here. Now, it's important to note that all of this data is always dependent on how you're filtering. By default, YouTube Studio goes last 28 days, but I also look at the channel from a 90-day point of view, the last 365, and sometimes lifetime. One important thing about lifetime data is Studio Analytics started to come out right around October of 2018. So certain metrics like impressions and click-through rate, they obviously weren't tracking before then. So you can see your views, you can see your watch time, you can see subscriber growth and traffic sources, but the newer data like this, they just weren't capturing it. So you'll get these little exclamation marks on the screen once you get there. Most of the time for my clients, I really don't go past 2018 at this point because YouTube has changed so much that looking at beyond 2018, which is going on 2 years now, you really are just looking at historical trends across the channel, and looking at data beyond that isn't really gonna help you in how people are searching and discovering your content today on YouTube. So after the 365 filter and the 2019 filters, you really don't have to go much further past that. So below the overview graph is the traffic sources card. And again, this data is filtered by whatever date range you are currently looking at. And this gives you the 6 top traffic sources for your channel in that date range. Scrolling down a little bit, we see this whole impressions and how they led to watch time funnel. And this is what everybody really talks about these days. Again, this shows you how impressions goes down this viewership funnel to total amount of watch time, and how it starts with impressions, which leads to views, which gives you this click-through rate metric, which leads to watch time and this sub-average view duration rate. So it's a really nice way to display all the information that is above in the chart. You'll notice a slight discrepancy between impressions and click-through rate and views sometimes if you really take a hard look at these graphs. According to YouTube's own help files, this is the data that's updated a little bit faster than your viewership funnel. So just remember that, but you shouldn't see a very large discrepancy. Below that are cards for specific traffic sources. Now, like I said, we have external, suggested, search, and playlists. Now, why are they displaying these metrics? My guess is these are the organic metrics that most creators care about. Now, I do work on a lot of corporate channels where there is a fair amount of advertising going on. And I have noticed that even though that could be the primary source of traffic for some of my clients' channels, YouTube advertising, I never see a card individually for that. So this tells me this is what they really want creators and brands to focus on moving forward to grow channels. Search is really obvious. YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world, right behind Google, who owns them. Suggested video, we all know that about 60% of all traffic for YouTube channels comes from suggested videos, so that's really important. The external traffic source kind of has my data sense tingling because most YouTubers don't get a lot of traffic from external search. Part of how YouTube figures out to put stuff on trending or not is they're looking at the traffic sources and looking at the view velocity. Now you can get a lot of views on a video from suggested and browse. That's normal, that's how most people. But once you start getting a lot of traffic from external sources, and more importantly, from Google preferred websites. I don't know if that's their official name for it. They have Google preferred creators in their advertising. So I know there's a list of really valuable, highly regarded external traffic sources. Think of sites like Vice News or the Wall Street Journal, CNN.com, traffic sources, or just social sites that get a lot of traffic. Maybe Reddit.com would be a good example as well. My theory is if the algorithm sees that a video is getting a lot of traffic from these reputable external websites, that flips a few switches in the algorithm or however you want to think about it, and that could promote that to the homepage and put it in the trending column. Now, are most creators ever going to reach that trending homepage? No. Are most creators going to go viral? No. And most brands aren't either. But that's my theory on why they want you to focus on external traffic sources, so you know where your stuff is being put. Playlists is another interesting traffic source. Now, while I love playlists and I 100% subscribe to the theory of getting a viewer into a playlist so you get one view turned into multiple views, I really haven't found a lot of channels that do this extremely well outside of episodic content. So the fact that YouTube is putting this playlist here is really interesting to me. I think most creators would be more interested in the browse traffic source than the playlist, but I have one more short theory on why playlists are here too. And that is smart televisions. Now, as our homes are getting more advanced and TVs are getting more and more apps on them, we've seen this very small trend starting to take place where more and more viewership is coming from televisions instead of mobile phones, which is still currently the king by a long shot. But thinking 3 to 5 years in advance and knowing that YouTube is getting more into premium content and that they have their own television subscription service, YouTube TV now, that gives you access to all of the YouTube original content for free, I think that they're thinking playlists are gonna be a very key metric in getting longer watch time as people start watching more and more YouTube on their smart televisions. A few years ago, we saw a little blip of this in this little small experiment that some creators had access to, and it was called Shows. And instead of having a series playlist, it was more of an episodic playlist where you add a show name, a show title, and you could give the air date, which is the upload date, and give it a description and designate the episode number so you can watch that content in episodic. The feature never really took off and it just kind of quietly disappeared, but it's one of those things that I think they might be bringing back, and playlists would be a strong indication for this. And if anybody's really trying to grow their YouTube channel, get more organic views, and is thinking of their contents into different pillars, playlists are definitely a key factor in that. Now that you understand how YouTube's promoting your content and how to optimize for that, we need to figure out more about your audience. How long are they watching your content? How are they engaging with it, if they even are? And how is your channel growing in terms of subscribers? If you're interested in that, watch the next video on the engagement and audience tab next. Until next time, keep creating video.